and welcome to a very special episode of FAQ Mondays. Episode 300, which honestly, I never ever envisioned doing 300 episodes of FAQ Monday. It's funny to think back because the very first episode, I distinctly remember thinking, I'll make one and then the questions will stop. I was dumb. But at that time, I had just started to get a little bit of steam on the YouTube channel. I think I had hit 3,000 subs by the time I put out the first FAQ. I was terrified of talking to the camera, and I had an MXL, like a $90 MXL condenser microphone that I placed on a stool in front of me to record the audio because I think I was using a flip cam, one of those $60 flip cameras, and I couldn't see myself on how I was framed up. So I just had to put the microphone far away because I wasn't sure if it was in the frame or not. And then I made a second one, and I still didn't really know what I was talking about. Honestly, I look back at the old episodes and think like, oh, I was just learning, like, oh, I learned something new, so I'm gonna talk about it, without actually having said, I just learned this thing, I don't really know what I'm doing. And then it was like 6 months or 7 months later that Rob Scallon was like, you know, you should do that, you should make that like a weekly thing. Like, you should make a weekly, like something that everyone knows is gonna come out on the same day and the same time every single week. Have some consistency on your channel. And the FAQ Monday episodes were the very first real good boost I had for the channel. Pretty cool. So we're gonna take a look at some old footage throughout the years, and we're just gonna do a little retrospective, and then we're gonna come back, and then yeah, we're gonna talk about Mondays. I don't know. Take a look. Hello everyone, welcome to my new video series that I'm going to try out. I don't know if it's a thing yet, but we'll give it a shot. This is an FAQ video, and I don't know if it's going to be the only one, or it may be one of many. I'm kind of going to make them as need be. Get a lot of repetitive questions, and I know a lot of people don't feel like rooting through some of my old videos to find the answers. So I'm going to centralize everything, and links will be over here as I talk. And yeah, let's get started with the FAQ of fluff. To put it simply, no, you cannot just come over to my house and try my stuff. I've actually had a surprising amount of people ask if they can just come over. And I always tell them the same thing, which is, I'm sorry, but no, you can't, because I don't know you. And people that I don't know cannot come into my house full of lots of gear to potentially case out or something. I don't know. You never know these days. Can't be too safe. But anyways, no, you cannot come over to my house. If you see me at a show, though, buy me a beer, please. One of the things that I always thought was really important with this channel was education and knowledge. And due to the overwhelming amount of questions I get, either in an email, on my Facebook, on the ask.fm questionnaire thing, I'm just going to make a regular FAQ Monday video. Every Monday, it's going to be a regular thing, and hopefully people enjoy them. And this is kind of what I wanted the Beard Files originally to be, but that kind of exploded into something else entirely. And so now we're here, and we're FAQing it up. Let's get cracking. First question that I'll read. Mm-hmm. How difficult is it to mix and master banjo with metal drums? For instance, in the Spawn of Possession cover or the Slayer banjo covers.
The Spawn of Possession cover for me was by far the most challenging just to play.
Yeah, that was very busy. And because something like that is very busy, it's incredibly difficult to mix banjo and metal drums, it takes a long time to get that kind of cut.
Yeah, because it doesn't really make much sense. Because I mean, a distorted guitar is, of course, super compressed, and then with like type of drumming, it can cut through. But when you have such a dynamic instrument like banjo,
it was with no low end.
Yeah,
it's 100% attack, clack, 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 which clashes with the snare drum. It's, to answer your question, it's very, very hard.
It's one I'm really glad that I can get this guy to do my mixing.
I charge him extra. What do you think of Andy James? Mindless shredder, or do you think his work actually has some substance? Andy James is anything but a mindless shredder. That guy has flavor. If he was food, he would be a real nice top sirloin steak, and there would be a side of A1 sauce ready and willing. You know what I mean? It really didn't make any sense, but I'll give you an example. When I was at NAMM, I think it was 2014, NAMM 2014, I'm walking by the DV Mark booth, and I hear this playing that had such panache, if I can use that word, and flair, but wasn't overly flashy. I don't like flashy. You guys know, the Yingbe stuff, the just rudimentary kind of stuff, I am not a fan of. So I'm walking by the DV Mark booth, and it's Andy James warming up. Now he is playing he's doing these bends, these super emotional bends, and the hilarious part was Andy is staring off into space like this. And just like kind of like looking around, he was warming up, but even on his warm-ups were just, it was so awesome. He's like a good cross between my favorite elements of Paul Gilbert with, I don't know, kind of like a Zakk Wylde, Doug Aldrich, Sykes kind of thing. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but I used to get told a year or two ago that I could be a great, like, his rhythm guitarist in his band or something like that. I always thought, that's an awesome compliment. But yeah, no, if you aren't familiar with Andy James, check out Andy James. Dude is just brilliant, awesome. I'm a huge fan. Well, hello, and welcome to another FAQ Monday. I'm your host, Fluff, and if you have a question, feel free to leave them down below in the comments or going over to my Ask FM account thing, and maybe we'll get you squared away someday. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, not this year probably, but Sunday. Let's be optimistic, shall we? First question. Well, hello, and welcome to another FAQ Monday. I'm your host, Fluff, and it's cold out, man. It's like perpetual, fresh out of bed, stretchy kind of weather. It's like, last I checked, it was like 30 degrees out here in the great Northwest. It's cold. I know it's not as cold as some of you. I'm always going to get those comments going, well, it's -4 where I'm at. Okay, I'm just saying 30's a little cold for dad, okay? That's all I'm saying. Now into business. First question. Well, hello, and welcome to another FAQ Monday. I'm your host, Fluff, and right off the top, I've moved. If you didn't already know, if you haven't seen the last couple of videos, I may or may not have moved. A little change of scenery, but alas, it's still the same old dad here to answer questions or something. I've been really busy. I'm sorry, okay? I love you. It had nothing to do, my love was not indicative of how active I've been on this channel, okay? I had to go to Florida, and then I had to move, immediately coming back, but then I had to leave for tour, and then I had to come back for tour and unpack, and then immediately go to NAMM. That's been my last month and a half, and it's been crazy, and I got sick twice in that time frame. I'm still slightly sick, but never mind. We need to get down to business. First question. Well, hello, and welcome to another FAQ Monday. I'm your host, Fluff, and I'm just hanging out, waiting for you guys, drinking my coffee. Okay, I don't have a mug. I was feeling kind of lazy today, but I am drinking Stumptown, one of the Northwest's best coffees, in my opinion. And I think the opinion is shared by a lot of people. They're out of Portland. This episode is not sponsored by Stumptown. I just think they make a damn good cup of coffee. if you know what I'm saying. But if they want to sponsor me, I mean, I was just, fifth question. And there you go. Episode 300 is in the can. Where do we go from here? Is there gonna be is there gonna be 600? Think of I hope there's not 600 episodes of FAQ Monday. How old am I gonna be by the time I don't even wanna know. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching all of the FAQs and submitting your questions over the years. This has always been a pleasure to interact and hang out with you guys and answering the questions that you may have. And if you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. I usually make a post like, hey, does anyone have any questions for FAQ Mondays? Or comment on a video or anything like that, and I'll get to them when I can. And with that, fluff out. If you liked the video you just watched, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support me and what I do, consider using some of the affiliate links down below in the description of this video. Go on over to Sweetwater, buy yourself something, and help me out at the same time. It's a win-win for both of us.